recording.
Okay, I'll start and then I'll have Katie go and then Brittany go. So my name's Christy Attaway. I'm a 5-star transformation coach. I'm making my salad as we speak. Do you guys want to see it? I know you do. I have been in the weight loss and fitness industry for over 23 years now. I started teaching jazzercise when I was like 15 years old. And I love helping women transform in their body from the inside out. I also help men as well, but specifically I have more experience working with women. The actual like fitness side of things and moving your body and making sure you're getting in that daily movement. And then I'm a huge believer in accountability. So that's me in the 5-star transformation program. If you're frustrated with your workouts or don't know which workout is right for you, or if you're wanting to increase your mobility or get into yoga, or have questions all the way to like CrossFit, to boot camp, to bar, to yoga, I'm your girl if you have any questions on workouts. So that is me, and I'm going to turn it to Katie to introduce herself.
Hey guys, you may have seen me on some of the training videos. I see Joanne waving at me from New York. So excited. Anyway, I'm a registered nurse, and both Christy and Brittany have coached me in the past. And a few years ago, I finally addressed my sugar and flour addiction. And so I consider myself a recovered sugar and flour addict. And also during that time, I really got into studying about willpower and habit formation. So now I consider myself a habit formation specialist. So if you're having issues overcoming sugar and flour addiction, talk to me, because I've been there. I've done all the tips and tricks that I share with you guys. Like I'm the tried and true for all this. So Brittany, I'll turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, my name is Brittany Adams. I'm also a registered nurse, and then I am a health educator as well, which is fun. I focus on disease management and prevention, really interested in how our bodies work at a cellular level, and focusing on decreasing inflammation so that we can live healthy and long lives free of disease as much as possible. So that is my focus. I'm grateful to coach with Christy and Katie, grateful for their expertise that they bring to the table. For me, I do also study a lot with supplementation, whole food supplements and different herbals, tinctures and essential oils. So if you guys need help in that category at all, let me know, and I will help you. So. All right, we have a fun group here today. I feel like I just let Beverly Ann in. So hello to her. We've had quite a few other people join since I did the shout out of where everyone was from. So just a big welcome, and thanks for spending your Tuesday evening with us.
Yep.
Hi. Okay, so I'm gonna have you guys go ahead and mute yourselves just for the quality of the recording. And we're going to start off our call with Katie. First, I want to introduce the topics real quick so you guys kind of know what to expect. Tonight, we're going to be talking about failure planning and setting yourself up for success, setting your environment up for success. We are also going to really focus on planning for the weekends. And Christy's going to lead us through a really cool exercise that will help us have more solid weekends and protect our progress through the week. And then I will be chatting a little bit more about hormones, okay, and how cortisol and female hormones and blood sugar and insulin are all related, and how we can make sure that we're optimizing those, because they're really important for weight loss. So that is kind of our program tonight. And then we are going to end with a really cool acronym that will help you guys stay on track and get healthy from the inside out. So Katie, go ahead and unmute yourself. I will share my screen and pull up that document for you. Maybe.
Oh, how cute is that?
Okay, let's see here. So I believe that you can see it, but it may not be as big as you want it. Is that good?
Yep, that looks good.
Okay.
Okay, just so you guys know, we have an ebook. If you haven't received it, we updated it. All of our material is like a work in progress. We're continually editing. So this is our latest version of our orientation booklet. And we're going to talk about failure planning tonight, because this is something that we're always fine tuning. The first time I heard the concept of failure planning was when my son was seeing a sports psychologist. And that sounds really funny, but he's a really good athlete, but he would just like fall apart if his team was losing. Like if he was playing well, then everything was wonderful. But if he wasn't, he would like pull himself out of the game. I remember when he was like 10 years old, he had like a meltdown and my husband took him home because he's like, that's just embarrassing. So anyway, he loves baseball, but it kind of got worse because in baseball, he was a pitcher and he's a really good pitcher, good athlete. But if any of you are baseball fans, you know that like baseball is a total mental game because you kind of get one shot in a game to make a really big play if you're playing in the outfield or whatever. It's not like soccer. Like I grew up playing soccer, and it's like if you messed up, it's like it's just so quick that you get more than one chance to really, touch the ball. So anyway, he got to probably age 15, 16 and playing at high school level, and he was pulling himself out mentally. And so we're like, let's have him talk to a sports psychologist. And I started getting into like reading sports psychology books. And the biggest thing that they talked about was the fact that you are going to be in situations where you're going to fail. So you can either pull yourself out of the game or you have certain cues that get you back into the game. So fast forward to yesterday, he's been practicing a lot of mental work, and the score was 1-0. He was up to bat. This was the last inning. They were the visiting team. Our team was the visiting team, and the home team was up to bat last. Anyway, he gets the final out, and we're up 1-0, and he has to go pitch. And I'm like, oh my heck, please keep it together. And I noticed him take his deep breath, like his samurai breaths, like he's practiced in the past. And they ended up with 3 up, 3 down, and we won the game. And I didn't even care that he didn't have the best at bats that game. I was just happy that he pulled himself together when he needed to, and he used his failure planning. So in the book, Willpower Doesn't Work, he goes into failure planning and explaining a little bit more. So what I've done in this ebook is I've pulled information from there, also from Brightline Eating, the book, and things that have worked for me. I'm just curious, how many of you have actually gone through the failure planning training? Have you seen it at all? I can't even see everyone. Give me a thumbs up or like raise your hand virtually. I'm seeing a thumbs down. I'm not seeing a lot of people that have been through this training. So this will be extremely helpful. Just so you know, we will send you a copy of this. Okay, Scarlett, watch the video. We do have a video that I created. This is going to help you go into situations where there's sugar and flour over the weekend, whatever, and help you come out on top with success and gaining momentum. So I've talked to a few of you guys about it. And so Jolynn and Jenny are actually going to share with us some of their success with failure planning. I think we'll start with Jenny. It was a couple weekends ago. She texted me and she's like, hey, I'm going into bingo. Here's my plan, but I'm going to let her expand on what she did and how she got the win that night.
Yep. Great. Thanks, Katie. So yeah, a couple weeks ago, I had a purse bingo planned with a large group of my friends, and it was go hang out, eat, drink, be merry kind of a situation with a lot of friends that I haven't seen in a while. So I was very excited to go out and socialize. And I kind of created step A, what's the first thing, but I realized I always fail at the having a backup plan. Excuse me, I always have a backup plan, but I always fail at it. So I realized I needed not like a plan A, but a B, but a C and D. And I kind of went through every single one of those things like, okay, well, what if I want to do this? And what if I want to do that? And then ultimately, even though I had purchased like all of these alternative things like sugar-free cookies and like vegan cookies and all of that stuff, and like I had gum, I still knew that I was gonna fail because in the situation, I'm that kind of person of, well, I've already ate it once, I might as well just keep going. Like I have a mentality in for a penny and for a pound, not like, oh, I could stop and I could fix it. And no, it's all in. And so I kind of realized that I was going to fail because of my mentality, and I just reached out for help. And that's when I text Katie.
So Jenny actually texted me a picture of the setup. You kind of froze for a second, Jenny. Did we lose you? Or is it my connection? She texted me a picture of her setup. So she went through all the possibilities of how she could fail. And that's what failure planning is. You're going to look at the situation where you could possibly fail.
I'm
or
using
failed
that
in the
towel,
past.
so don't throw it anywhere.
Oh, okay. And then you're going to make a plan to overcome the challenge that you're about to have or the temptation. So she sent me a picture of her setup at bingo night, and she had the vegetables. I could pull it up in our thread, but in our text thread, but I think you were
Hear me
sitting by
now?
the, yeah, I can hear you now. So let's hear about your setup.
So yeah, so I realized that I was bringing the food I wanted, but I decided in order to help myself, I put all of the food that I specifically wanted to eat for me directly in front of me, and all of the carbs and all the bad stuff on the other side of the table. And so thus it wasn't like when I'm bored and not paying attention, I grabbed the pretzels, which I really wanted to eat. I literally had the carrots in front of me, like salsa and something else, like everything that was safe within my sphere right in front of me. And then I also had like my bag of like gluten-free, sugar-free cookies at my side if I needed. And then I also had like gum. Like I had everything right around me in my space to keep me on track.
Sorry, I
You're
was
muted.
Oh, I was like, I thought I was losing my mind on that one. Okay.
No, she's muted.
So she texted me beforehand, told me the plan, and then I said, okay, text me when you're done and let me know how the night went. So she had to check back in, and she did, and she got the win, and we celebrated because emotion creates habit. And then I also said, will you be willing to share on our call? I upped the accountability, and she said, yes, sure. But it was huge to get that win, right?
It really was. And I knew it wasn't a win I could get on my own. I think the motivation of having to present really was like, crap, well, now I have to do this. Like I have to hold myself accountable. And so it was the exact thing that I needed to really push me to get there.
That's awesome. Thank you, Jenny, for sharing.
Yep.
I really appreciate it.
Jenny, I have one follow-up question. Did you still have a great time with all your friends?
Of course I did. Yeah. And like, that's the thing, right? I was so focused on, I'm going to eat these things and not like all this great food's going to be in front of me and I'm going to eat it. Not like, oh, I'm there really to go and hang out. The food isn't the thing I'm there for. And I think that's what Katie and I talked about was I'm not there to eat. I'm there to hang out. And the food is just coincidentally there as well.
Yeah.
I have one more question too. Did anyone ask you or notice that you weren't eating the rest of the smorgasbord?
No. I think
Yeah.
someone offered me a cookie and like I didn't eat it anyways because it's got eggs in it and I'm allergic. And that was like the extent of it. I'm like, no, that's not my diet kind of thing. And that was it. Yeah, no one cared. No one even noticed.
That's
It was all in
awesome.
my head.
I love it. Thank you.
Yep.
should we move along to Jolynn? Jolynn is Jenny's sister.
I am, and we are Katie's cousins.
Yay.
Yes,
And-
we're all a big family. So Katie, where do
Brittany,
you
should
want
we-
to start?
Brittany, can we minimize the failure planning or should we leave that up? I just can't see Jolynn. There she is. Okay.
Oh, are you
Um,
still going to be referring back to this?
Maybe at the end.
Okay. I'll probably just keep it up if that's okay. Did you find her?
Okay, yeah, that's totally fine.
Okay.
Okay, Jolynn, I'm excited for this.
Where do you
So
want to
Jolynn-
start?
Jolynn started probably about 5 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
And
I-
took her a minute to get fully committed to the weekend thing. So do you mind telling us how you got, because you do really awesome during the week, and then we all know how the weekends go. Like there's a lot more temptation, gatherings, the whole bit. Do you mind sharing a little bit, Jolynn, how you got to the point where you were totally committed?
So I found that I started out by getting the vitamins because I really did believe in putting healthier things into my body. And so Katie was like, oh, well, why don't you try the program? And I was like, okay. And I was kind of doing it during the week, like she said, and then the weekend would come and I would fall apart. And I wasn't feeling better. And so finally I was talking to my sister, Jennifer. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a juice cleanse. I need to take everything out of my system and just kind of do a reset. And I did that and I took everything out and I realized that I was feeling a lot better and that I didn't have that sugar craving. I knew I shouldn't eat the gluten. And like I took the gluten out, but that was more because I have really bad knees and they were swelling. And I was like, you know what? Let me take gluten out. That is inflammation. Let me take the stuff out that I don't need and see how that does. I'm lactose intolerant. My sister can't have eggs. We're a great mix, but I took the dairy out completely. And then it was 2 weeks ago when I was talking to Katie because she checked in and she was just like, okay, like, well, what are you going to do? And I was like, you know, like I kind of lost the self-control. Like I used to have this limit where I would know like, okay, I'll just have like one peanut butter.
No, we haven't. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, friend, you're on mute. Thank you. But I would say like, oh, I would have like one peanut butter cup and that would be enough. And I was telling Katie, but for some reason I would have 4 and be like, oh, I'm just going to have 4. And it went from 1 to 4. And then I would have Nutella. And I was telling her how we shouldn't even have Nutella in the house because it has milk in it. So clearly we're not supposed to have it. And she was like, so what are you going to do? I was like, I'm not going to have it. And I'm going to let the kids have it. And she's like, well, when it's empty, are you going to buy another one? And I was like, no. She was like, okay. And it was just talking to her and realizing, okay, yeah, no, she's right. We shouldn't even have it in the house. Like it shouldn't even be here because no one can actually eat it other than my husband who doesn't even like it. So it shouldn't even be here. My sister's actually allergic to it. So it really shouldn't be here. And so just that part. And once I got over that hump of not wanting sugar, like I started losing weight and I was feeling better. And my anxiety stopped. Like who didn't have worse anxiety with the pandemic, but it really had been like on edge. I'm a teacher also. And here in New York City, it's been a hot mess. And like last year, it really hit a wall many times and lack of movement was definitely it. And then this year I was just still eating sugar. And then I took it out and I was like, wow, Katie, like I feel so much better. Like I don't feel like I'm like losing my mind. And so that was really big. And then another thing on one of our talks, I was like, yeah, you know, I make the kids these great lunches. And I would tell her, she's like, wow, you make that? I was like, yeah, like I want to be like mom of the year. And she's like, well, what do you make yourself? I'm like, nothing. She's like, so maybe you should make yourself something. And I used to. And so this week I was like, you know what? I'm making my salad in the jars. And I made 4 salads in the jars and that's what I ate. I've been doing some celery with little peanut butter cups, and that filled me up so much, like I couldn't even eat the fruit that I brought. And like I was telling her, like I was okay at work because I would like only eat the food I brought and like a bunch of almonds. But then when I got home, I was all over the place. And she's like, well, clearly you're not eating what you should eat, because if you're getting home and devouring the house, clearly that plan's not working. And I was like, no, you're right. And so like I made myself a salad that had like a black bean burger with like nice greens, and it had hard boiled egg and fresh vegetables. And then I put like squeezed lemon juice. And I was like, oh, this is a really good salad. And just her like telling me like, well, if you're going to do that for the kids, like, why don't you do that for yourself? And it's like, you're right. And then, well, it was 2 days ago, right? I don't even know what today is. Today's Tuesday. So yesterday I texted you and I told you how everyone had stovetop stuffing. We're very American. We love the stovetop. And I was like, I can't eat that. I told myself I wasn't going to eat it, and I didn't. And I made arugula, and I put some goat cheese and some olive oil on top. And then I had everything else the kids had. Well, that I made. I had my chicken cutlet, as any good New Yorker, and I had my roasted broccoli and cauliflower, and I was fine. And like, and I just told my kids, I'm like, you know, mommy just can't eat that stuff because it doesn't go well with mommy. And so now my 6-year-old, who Katie had the pleasure of meeting and who is a Stitch, now like reads all the labels. He's like, mommy, you can eat this. This one's okay for you. I'm like, thanks, bud. But like, it's also making them aware too of like the things that we really should eat and shouldn't eat, which is again, is why I was telling Katie, I'm like, I tell all the kids these great things, and then I'm eating 4 peanut butter Easter egg cups. Like, what is that? Like, that's not who I am. And I mean, I've dropped 6 pounds, Katie.
That's
And I just feel
awesome.
better. And like I told her, it's not, I'm losing the weight because I just want to feel better. And it was the big moment was I realized I didn't want to be a size 12. Like I've never been this big in my life. Like I've never weighed this much since I was pregnant. And I was like, I don't want to be a size 12. Like I want to be like the Jolyn who like goes hiking and we do like all that movement. Like, and I don't want to like fall apart. And like my sister and I, we've been like helping each other out. Like we had a family occasion this weekend, and I was like, don't you eat that bread, Jennifer. I was like, take that off. I went up to her, I was like, don't you eat that? And she's like, okay. I'm like, no, take it off. You don't eat that. And I was like, you don't need to eat that cookie. You don't need to eat that. I was like, you see, there's olives. We don't need to eat that. And like at this gathering, like there were so many sweets. I'm like, no, I brought apples and oranges, Katie, and peanut
That's
butter.
awesome.
You can
That's
ask
awesome.
Jennifer. I was sitting there eating that was my backup plan because I knew there wasn't going to be the food that was going to fill me up in a good way.
And you enjoyed it, right?
I did. I love my peanut butter cup and my apple slices, and so do my kids. And it's just reminding myself, like, I'm training my kids to have good eating habits, and I'm not following through. And that's a big thing I try to do in my classroom is what I model, I should also live by. And I was taking away from me. And that was affecting my health and making my anxiety through the roof. And I wasn't doing my movement, and I just wasn't feeling okay with myself. And like, honestly, having my cousin as a coach, I never bought the coach thing, but like her gentle nudges of like, okay, so now what are you going to do? And my sister was like, we can't ignore our cousin. I'm like, you're right, we can't. So that really helped too.
Oh, good. Yay.
No, it's been great.
I love it. There's so many takeaways from all of that. I love that your taste buds have changed. You really are enjoying your food, and it doesn't have to be stovetop. I mean, let's be honest. In my house, we'll do the same thing. Like we'll have the base ingredients, but I usually have, vegetables versus stuff that they're having, and it's totally fine. Like I don't feel left out. So, do you have any insights?
No, I love that. I feel like it's important to treat ourselves to the good stuff too. Like you said, that's a good reminder to take time to treat ourselves as well. Priscilla had a experience she wanted to share as well, Katie, when you're ready, about failure planning.
Okay. Thank you, Jolyn, so much for sharing everything. That was helpful.
Right. No,
And I can't wait to see where the next 6 weeks takes you.
Thank you. I love you. I appreciate you so much.
Love it. Okay, is Priscilla on? She has a billion birthday parties to go to like every week, I swear. So we've been talking about birthday parties and we're doing a lot of failure planning. So Priscilla, can you kind of just share with us about how the failure planning is going with your birthday parties?
Yeah, so I do. I go to a ridiculous amount of birthday parties. And so mostly it's like extended family. So I don't really feel like it's still a little hard sometimes to know if I guess not embarrassment, but sort of. But we talked about the same thing, Jenny. Nobody even noticed. Like, so we had a pizza party and I just ate before I went to the party so that I was full and I didn't have to worry about eating things that I didn't want to eat. And sometimes it's nice to know what they're serving so that I can make my plan based on that. So on last Friday, they were having fish tacos. So I decided, after talking to Brittany, I was like, well, I'm going to bring a salad. I can eat some of the fish. So that way I wasn't filling up on tortillas and all those kinds of things. And then also just at a lot of these parties, it's if I brought things to share that I could eat, that nobody's gonna mind, and it just would be peace of mind for me so that I have those opportunities and those things to, so I'm not tempted by all the other things.
Yeah, for sure.
That's it. It's been going well, and I don't think I have any birthday parties this weekend, but
every time I talk to Priscilla, she's like, I have a birthday party. I'm like, how many birthday parties do you go to?
A lot.
So a couple things I just want to point out there. Eating before you go, right? That's helpful. And then taking something as a side dish that you know that you want to eat, right? That's your food. And then also I told her, like, if you're close enough, just ask what they're going to be having, because that's easy. Because then you can it's almost like if you go to a restaurant looking at the menu before you go, right? So you can kind of pick and choose what's going to be appropriate for you. So it's along the same lines of just being prepared. And I loved that, she knew they were having fish tacos, so she just brought a big salad and then knew that she could have the salad with the fish on it. So anyway, I thought that was really great. And Priscilla, you've just done amazing so far. So I'm really, really proud of you for coming out the gate and doing the failure planning from the very beginning.
Yeah, it's been critical in my success. It really has, just because because it happens so frequently. I just definitely need a plan.
Yeah, love that. Thank you for sharing. Okay, Katie, did you want to talk about any more on this page?
Well, I'm trying to decide because I want to make sure that we get to hear from everyone. So I think we'll just leave that as something that people get to look forward to if they haven't read through it.
Okay. Well, it was on the screen long enough that you probably had a chance to read through it if you were looking at the screen. But one quick thing is, always just be prepared for what you're going to say if someone asks you, because someone will ask you or they'll give you a hard time about it, I'm sure, because people like to do that for some reason. But just making sure that you have your why. And we have a few ideas on here, like honestly, just saying no thanks, I'm good, like that's great. But one thing I like to do is bring your health into it, and then that kind of helps people understand that it's not just an image thing, like how I look, it's how I feel, because that's what 5-star is all about, right? Like how we feel. We care more than just about the scale. And so I think that piece is important too. So just making sure you're prepared for if people do ask you, but like Jenny said and Priscilla said, most people don't care. It's just kind of what we're nervous about, right? So anyway, thank you again for sharing that. Christy, are you where? There you are. Hello. Christy's going to share a really fun exercise with us that kind of goes along with protecting our progress over the weekends.
Okay, awesome. And I might have Morgan, just to give Morgan a little heads up, to hop on in. I didn't ask specifically for her to talk about anything, but if she wants to tag on to what I'm talking about, feel free, Morgan. Okay. So I love doing this exercise I've done this exercise for over 15 years with my clients, and it is Monday morning. And it's just a small little exercise that you can put on your phone on Friday. You could call it like Monday morning exercise. You could put it as an all-day event. If you use a planner, you could just put in there, Christy's Monday morning exercise or 5-star Monday morning exercise. It tags onto or piggybacks onto what we're talking about, failure to plan. But I find it super important in life to know why we're doing what we're doing. Why are you doing what you're doing? And if you don't know why you're doing it, we'll get stuck in those these comments such as, I'm a mom and I take care of everyone else. You guys, that's just a cultural comment. That's just a cultural comment. When the truth is we can make it a we, not me. It can be all together. We can integrate it together. I understand when you have a newborn baby, you really are just taking care of that baby. But when the baby's, so I find these comments in a way a disservice to pass on to other generations below you. Because you're basically telling the women in your generational line, like, I don't take care of me because I just take care of the kids. And I've heard this so many times from a lot of clients. I took care of my kids so long and then I felt lost and I didn't know who I was. And so that's why I like to go back to, my mom would always ask me, why are you saying what you're saying? Know what you're going to say before you say it, which takes a lot of writing for Christy Attaway. And know why you're doing what you're doing. Does it have purpose? Does it meet your goals? Does it meet your monthly goal, your weekly goal, your daily goal, your yearly goal? And does it integrate into that overall goal of why you're living, like what drives your life? Why are you here? Those questions that's like, I don't know, why am I here? Why am I here? Is it for love? Is it for families? Is it to have kids? But there is a particular reason that you might resonate with. I've noticed from year to year, I resonate with a different emotion of why I'm here on earth. And matching it up with my yearly goal, my monthly goal, my weekly goal, my daily goal, and to ensure that those actions are matching up with it. Okay. And so before you do the Monday exercise, know your yearly goal, know where your heart's at, know why you're doing what you're doing. Okay. And so then when it comes to Friday, really think about that weekend. These weekends, you guys, they can, as we've heard, it's like I would do great all week. And it's like on the weekend, you live two different lives. And it's these two different lives versus like, can you create that weekend to be a nice weekend where you wake up Monday morning feeling alert, full of energy, full of brightness, feeling light, wanting to work out or wanting to move your body and wanting to eat healthy. You know that feeling of like, oh, I fell off the bandwagon, which first of all, who came up with the wagon? Like, where's the wagon? None of us ride wagons, right? So, like, I don't know who made that one up. So start changing your verbiage as well. Like, because we do what we say we will do. Okay. So if we say we fell off or I'm starting over, be smart with those words. Like, I had a weekend that maybe I didn't agree with, that didn't align with my values and my dreams and my goals. But moving forward this week, I'm going to align that. But on Friday, if you take time, so everyone close their eyes, act like it's Friday. I'm so sorry it's not, you guys. I'm so sorry. It's only Tuesday. But this Friday, take yourself to this Friday, which by the way, is my birthday this Friday. So you're going to take yourself to this Friday. Okay. So I'm going to take myself to my birthday. It could be a birthday weekend. I could drink way too much champagne. I could have too much gluten-free cake. I could have all these things that I could get caught in. But what I'm going to really think about is, how does Christy Attaway want to feel when she wakes up on Monday morning being 42 years old? Okay. So how do you, Lori, Scarlett, Brittany, Katie, Morgan, Jolynn, how do you want to feel this next Monday morning? And I had a counselor back when I was age 29 years old. And he said he was the dorkiest counselor in the world, but he changed my life because he said, I will never forget it. I was sitting in there in this funny room, and I was with my husband. He said, focus on the emotion, not the to-dos, not the, did we get this done? Did you do this? Did they do this? Did you get your honey to-do list done? Focus on the emotion of how you want to feel as a family that next week. How do you want to feel? And by default, the to-dos will fall in place. Okay. It was really rude of me to say he was a dork, but in the moment I was like, that's the dorkiest thing that anyone could say. That's not good advice. And then all of a sudden I started following it because, right, I called him out and I said something. I was like, well, maybe I'll listen to it. And I'm telling you, my life changed because I focused on an emotion. I was overtrained in the to-dos. I was overtrained in the schedule. I was overtrained at 5 o'clock. We only have 15 minutes to get in the car. We're overtrained on that. But living in the presence and knowing how you want to feel, you guys, you are so resourceful. You are a human. You are made from something powerful. You are so resourceful. And so when you know what you want, you know how you want to feel, you're going to start to see the actions just fall into place. So this Friday, we've already pre-done it. We've done it on Tuesday. So you could do this every single day. How do I want to feel next Monday morning? And what are going to be the things that will get me there? But if you keep your weekend dedicated to how you want to feel on Monday morning, your weekends will change. So maybe it's been full of like comfort food and it's been full of, right? Maybe your energy is drained. So maybe your weekend needs to be about rejuvenating, refresh, recoup, reinvent, redo, whatever it is. Make that weekend about that. Be dedicated to that emotion on Monday morning, and you're going to see yourself just rock through your weekends. Okay. Okay. So that's my little pep talk to you. And I'm going to have, so that's the Friday exercise. How do you want to feel Monday morning? How do you want to feel Monday morning? How do you want to feel? You could even put an outfit out. That's another fun thing to do. Hang up an outfit in your closet that you want to wear those jeans and that shirt on Monday morning, and you want to feel, you want to like slide into that, okay? Because those jeans aren't going to come to you. You got to arrive to those jeans. I don't know about the jeans. None of us want jeans. We just want like those pants. So I'm going to ask, Morgan has recently joined 5-Star, and I've known Morgan for a while, and I'm super stoked that she's here. And I just asked her to share a small testimonial about how she loves 5-Star. It's her favorite thing ever. But, you know, just share what you want to share, Morgan, about why you chose to join 5-Star, your results, whatever comes to your heart. Share it with us.
Okay, so this is the second time that I've been working with Christy. Before I did one-on-one coaching with her, and it was when my youngest was almost a year old is when I first started working with her. I was used to doing my pregnancies and then losing weight and just moving on, and it wasn't a big deal. But my last pregnancy was very traumatizing, mentally, emotionally, physically. Lots of progesterone shots through my whole pregnancy. It really just threw me out of whack. And so Christy really helped me get my hormones back on track and helped me move my body. And it was great. And I was really successful. And then the pandemic hit, well, shortly before we stopped working together, because I was doing really well. I was doing all the things and I felt like I had a good handle on it. And then COVID happened, and just like everyone else, you know, things started to spiral. And during that time, I started, you know, falling back into old habits. And then I started seeing a therapist because I was just having anxiety and things were just difficult. And I learned some really powerful things about words that we use. I was a very big user of have to, need to, should, and that was creating a lot of anxiety. And I definitely felt like a failure when I had gained back up quite a bit of the weight that I had lost originally, because I felt like I should know better. I shouldn't do that. And really, it just came down to the fact that I was choosing to not spend my time making correct choices, that I was choosing to spend my time on other things, is what I've learned from therapy. And I finally got myself to like a good spot, mentally and emotionally, where I felt like, okay, I can go back and do coaching again. Like, I've expanded myself emotionally and mentally and kind of healed myself. And I want to go back to, working on my physical body. And this time is so different because this is something that I want to do. I want to eat those things. I want to feel better. I want to spend my time moving my body. It's not a I have to because I have to wear these jeans. I have to because whatever reason. It's I want to do it. I want to feel healthy. I want energy. I want to create a different body. I want to um, take care of my pancreas. I have pancreas issues in the past, and that is a powerful thing, because when I am approached with cookies or things like that, I don't want to eat them because I don't want that. That's not my goal, and that has been such a huge mindset change for me. Is that it's the want and not the need, should, have to, because when I put that expectation on me, it doesn't go well, because then I feel like a failure. Whereas if it's something that I'm wanting and desiring, then I work a little bit harder and I know why it is that I'm doing it. And so, such a great program. I know that it works. I've done it, and I'm excited to continue on my journey, but just in a different way, and just recreating myself and my body in a way that works for me and my family.
I love that word, recreate. Thank you.
Thank you, Morgan.
All right, Britt.
Okay, yeah, so I want to do a couple other testimonials. I know, Scarlett, you've been really working on your protecting your progress for the weekend. So if you'll just share quick kind of about the strategies you've implemented that have helped you kind of focus on that who you want to be Monday morning piece.
So I started intermittent fasting, which has really changed my progress tremendously, because I was eating well, but I was eating like throughout the day. Like, I wasn't really scheduling myself to eat this time throughout the day. It was more of like kind of whenever the kids ate, snacking, I was like kind of eating, and the intermittent fasting really has helped, because it's made that time schedule really small for me to get in really simple, really healthy meals. And it's definitely made my weekends a lot easier. I've just thrown out the whole like wanting to eat with the family and wanting to spend time with them while we eat and eat what they eat. Yes, I can still do that with what I have on my plate. And I've just totally like, whatever, I don't care. Like, because I'm at the point again where I'm trying to start all over again and again and again. And I don't want to do that anymore. And I'm very, very happy with how things are going. And so just having that mindset of like, okay, throw that out the window. You focus on you. Don't look, like Katie talks about, like, focusing on your own plate. For me, that's my mindset, is focusing on what I have going on my own plate. And that's helped.
Perfect. I love that. And having a plan, I think, is good as well. So thanks for sharing. And then one last testimonial. I wanted Marty. She is new to the program, but she's been doing really awesome protecting her progress over the weekend. So just wanted her to share about how consistency is making her feel. Marty, are you still here?
Yes, I am still here. Thanks,
Hi.
Brittany.
Awesome.
Hi, ladies. So I am new to this program, and I really was scared to death before that Monday morning start date. I tried a bunch of, throughout the years, I've, been flip-flopping between healthy lifestyle to just letting it all, whatever I feel like in the day. And so I had, this seemed a little bit more restricting than to what I had, tried in the past. And so I had a lot of fears about it. And it's come to find out when I started the program, it was a lot easier in a lot of ways than I thought, and a lot harder in other ways, in different ways. But the benefits that I feel only just in a couple weeks, versus I've been able to lose weight on other programs before. But the biggest difference that I feel with this program has been what I feel on the inside, it's like the inside job that I feel. I used to have, I used to wake up every morning just feeling gutty and not just nauseous and just not feeling my best, and then I'd start to feel better throughout the day. I never had an appetite. So when I did eat, I was starving and I ate like crap. And so just a really unhealthy, no consistency whatsoever, just all over the clock. And so once I started to be more structured in my meal planning, and I found that prepping my meals has been actually a lot of fun. Like, I've really enjoyed it. And my kids are all on board with it too. And they're all interested in what I'm doing. And like, wow, Mom, this looks fire. They're saying, like, this looks so good. And so they're eating what I'm eating, and I guess I'm the mom that I cook my meals. And then I'm like, oh, what are you guys going to eat? I guess you're eating what I'm eating, So it's been really good. It's been a lot of fun for my family, but like, I just can't emphasize enough the inside benefits that I'm feeling, and I have lost weight. I've lost 10 pounds in 10 days, over 10 days. And that was huge for me, and I feel great, but it's what's on the inside. Like, I sleep great. I wake up feeling ready to go. I feel ready to move my body to get to work. I feel sharp. I feel positive. I feel focused, I feel healthy, and it's just such a great feeling. So, each day I just have a little bit more motivation to do good because of what the other benefits that I'm seeing just in my skin and my hair and my attitude. And I crave the healthy foods. I crave eating healthy. My meals look colorful and great, and they feel great. And so it's just been awesome so far. Knock on wood, it's been pretty successful couple weeks so far.
Yeah, awesome. And I feel like that, really rings true, the testimony of consistency and just protecting those weekends and really, focusing on that piece right there. So thank you so much for sharing. I did want to share real quick before we wrap up. Did you say something? Did someone say something? Okay. I just want to share real quick on hormones. Okay. We can talk more about this on another call, so we have more time. But I want to talk about cortisol real quick and just how it relates, because a lot of the times, like Christy was talking about, we're just not tapping into the emotion. We're just focusing on the to-do list, right? Like, I got to do this and this and this and this, this. And as women, I think that we kind of stress ourselves out a little bit more than we need to sometimes. And our hormones really take a hit for that. They kind of get hijacked when we have a lot of stress. So as Morgan was saying, during the pandemic, we've all experienced stress. Many of us deal with like high levels of anxiety, maybe depression, different things that food choices are definitely helping, but we want to focus in on the actual mechanism behind stress, right? The stress hormone. So just a quick mini lesson. Cortisol is our stress hormone, okay? And it's released from the adrenal glands that sit on top of the kidneys. So what we want to do is focus on being really nice to our adrenals. And sometimes we're not, right? It's because sometimes we have a lot of outside stress coming in, and then we are maybe over exercising, or overdoing our to-do list, or not taking enough rest days, not prioritizing sleep, right? So these are things that I just want to talk about the importance of, because cortisol, what happens is when we have cortisol, it actually makes it so we don't release insulin. And insulin, for those of you who were part of our insulin boot camp, we learned that insulin is actually an anti-inflammatory. So glucose is what raises the inflammation levels in our body, right? And insulin comes in to try and kind of put out that fire. But what happens is we get such high glucose, we get so much insulin, then we start getting resistant to that. And that's when we have problems. But cortisol impairs insulin. So your blood sugar will stay high. So the more cortisol you have pumping through, the more blood sugar you have. So if you guys are stressed, but eating a good diet, that's okay, but just know that your cortisol is raising your blood sugar. So we want to try to like de-stress your life and have positive, healthy eating habits at the same time, right? So why does cortisol increase our blood sugar? Well, if you remember from grade school, probably we learned about fight or flight, right? So if a bear is chasing us, our body goes into fight or flight. Well, that's when our cortisol is raised, right? So during fight or flight, we need more glucose to our brain and we need more glucose to our muscles so that we can run, right? So that's why when cortisol is released, glucose is high because during that time we need it, okay? But what happens when we have chronic elevated cortisol? Things shut down. The things that shut down are stuff that we don't technically need during fight or flight. What are those things? Digestion, sex, right? Libido. Any of you guys deal with low libido? So digestion, libido, let's see, fat metabolism, because your body says, dude, you got to store fat. You got to run away from this bear. I'm not going to worry about fat metabolism with your cortisol levels high. I'm not going to worry about, optimizing your female sex hormones. You don't need to worry about that. I'm not going to worry about improving digestion or increasing absorption of nutrients. That's not what we got to focus on right now, right? We're running away from a bear. So if you think about it like that, that is the reason why high cortisol hijacks our hormones, because it messes with insulin, right? It keeps our blood sugar high, and it also shuts down things that we really need for optimal long-term health. So I just wanted to share that with you, because I want you to work on prioritizing structure and routine and things that help decrease anxiety, things that will help with stress. If you have to choose between getting sleep and doing another workout, honestly, your body will benefit from sleep, right? Rest. Make sure you have proper rest days in between your workouts. Don't do 1 billion miles on the treadmill. Like, those are not things that will serve your body as women. So Christy's here. She's an expert with fitness. We want to move our bodies, but you guys, strength training and mixing it up, doing some restorative yoga, like those things are so beneficial, especially for women, because we do hijack our hormones sometimes with increased stress on our bodies. And exercise is stress, right? Like, it can be a very healthy form of stress, but sometimes we overdo it a little bit. So I have just been talking to a few clients about this in the past couple of weeks and wanted to bring that up, that to optimize weight loss, we want to make sure that we're managing stress. So if you guys need other ideas, like with essential oils or with different, sauna or, dry brushing, or like all of these fun Ayurvedic things to help reduce stress, let us know. We can fill you in on some really cool things that we've implemented as coaches, but that is something really, really important. So we hope that as you go through this 12-week program, because we're optimizing you from the inside out at a cellular level, we don't just care about weight loss, we care about your health. And we want to see you in a really good optimal health picture. That means you're absorbing nutrients, your hormones are balanced, your hair, skin, and nails is healthy, right? They're healthy, you're feeling good energy. And obviously, you're seeing the results on the scale and fitting into your clothes, of course. But I hope that you know that we really do care about your overall health and the way that, your cells are optimizing and helping you prevent disease and live the best life that you can. So if you guys have any other questions about that, please let us know. I hope that that was helpful for you. And then I think that we will talk about the acronym in our Coaches Corner, just because we don't have a lot of time, but we'll post about that, a kind of a fun acronym that Katie learned about that we wanted to share. So we'll post about that in Coaches Corner. And then Katie, if you want to do a giveaway quick, we will wrap up. And we kept it pretty much to an hour. So thanks for those of you who hung out with us during this time.
Okay, so speaking of stress, I have an adaptive roller. I don't know if you guys have tried adaptive yet, but this is doTERRA's like anti-stress blend. I love the aroma. I actually haven't heard of anyone who doesn't like the aroma yet. So, I mean, I know everyone has like their favorites as far as aromas go, but you can get Brittany probably like last month or 2 months ago, she talked about the adaptive capsules. So there's also an adaptive oil blend that you can put in the diffuser. So it would look like a bottle like this. This is a roller that you can put on your wrists, behind your ears, anywhere you want, but those, like your pulse points, that's where you're going to absorb it really well. So we're going to go ahead and give away a roller. I like doing the number thing. So I'm going to hurry and share a number with Brittany. I'm going to direct message her here, so she knows that I'm not lying. No, I wouldn't lie. Okay, so let's see. Did you get it, Brittany?
Yep.
Okay, so between 1 and 20, when we say go, you guys are gonna start guessing, and whoever guesses the number first wins the adaptive roller.
Put it in the comments and then we'll just find whoever gets it first.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Okay, go.
Okay, we didn't say go, did we?
No, but everyone's going, so hurry.
12,
I don't see it yet. Keep putting it in the comments.
13.
No.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
Okay, Lynn.
Wait a minute. We also have someone on a phone that might not, you know what I mean?
oh yeah, that's true. You can holler it. Lynn Ann got it though. It was 3. Lynn Ann, do you have adaptive? Where is she?
Yes, I do.
Lynn Ann is the luckiest lady. She wins almost every giveaway.
Priscilla put 3 right after her.
She can have it.
Lynn
Okay.
Ann always gives up her oils because she's amazing. Priscilla, do you have it? You didn't get adaptive in your collection, did you?
I do. I did not get it with my most recent stuff, but I do have some that Melissa gave me some time ago. So I love it. I'll take it. Thank you, Lynn Ann.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay, awesome.
So do those oils and adaptive work on the cortisol, like what you were talking about, that will help us get out of what I think what most people call that fight or flight, and where your body won't release the insulin, is like storage mode. Like my body's in starvation mode. It thinks it's in starvation, and so I won't drop weight. It's really more that their cortisol levels are probably too high and not coming down at a normal rate. So will those oils work on the cortisol?
Well, rosemary,
I've never tried adaptive.
Rosemary essential oil helps lower cortisol specifically. Does adaptive have rosemary in it? I don't remember. Will you look on the thing?
Yeah.
So this cortisol is the reason why a lot of clients are working with the nurse practitioner, because they're getting their cortisol levels checked just to kind of optimize. So that's another option if you're concerned that you've been under chronic stress, then we have a nurse practitioner that can help check your levels. But yeah, the essential oils are really great just for balancing emotion, and you can do the breathing exercises with them. Does it have rosemary in it?
Yes, it has rosemary. So
It does? I love doTERRA. They're so smart. Okay, so rosemary lowers
lavender.
cortisol, and they put it in adaptive because they're so smart. So there you go. It does.
Yeah.
It helps.
Yeah. It's an awesome blend.
Yeah.
I don't know if
So-
you guys want to stick around for one more giveaway. You
Are
don't
you doing
have
another
to.
one? All
Yeah.
right. Those of you who are hanging out with us, there's another one.
So this is another one that would be good for anxiety because it has citrus oils and then also some floral oils that are geared towards anxiety. It's called Citrus Bloom. doTERRA came out with this probably like 3 or 4 years ago. And when they did, it like flew off the shelves. People were like freaking out.
Mhm.
And it really does smell good. So I'll just list the oils really quick. It's got wild orange, grapefruit, lavender, Roman chamomile, and magnolia. So
Ooh, yummy.
all the oils that are good for stress. It comes in this bottle. So ideally you'd want to put it like in a diffuser. I don't know if you guys have a diffuser. They're awesome to have. I feel like who doesn't want their space to smell good, especially at night, like right by your bedstand. It's just amazing. But you can also apply it topically. You could put it with like some unscented lotion and rub it on your feet at night. You could put a little bit behind your ears, on your wrists, again, your pulse points. So we'll go ahead and give this one away. And now doTERRA does have it as like a consistent product. It was a limited time offer product, but now because people love it so much, it's always stocked. And then they have lotion and hand soap that smell like this. So, okay, we'll just go ahead and do the same thing real quick. Let me text or direct message Brittany the number. Wait till we say go.
Okay, I
On
got
your
the
mark.
number.
Okay, on your mark, get set, go.
Go.
7,
No,
12, 14,
no.
Nope,
9, 20.
nope,
Oh my God.
Keep going, keep going.
4,
No.
9,
No.
3.
No one's gotten it. Hurry, hurry, hurry.
Oh my gosh, 6, 17, 18,
nope, nope.
11.
No, my
Oh my
gosh.
gosh, 5.
Nope.
We are so bad at this.
That is so hilarious.
10.
No.
Penny.
No.
19.
No.
Oh my 8.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
driving me
Katie.
crazy.
This is hilarious.
This is hilarious. I think I've guessed every number now. And not in order.
Oh, okay. It's between 10 and 20. I'll give you that. Oh, Jessica.
Oh, Jessica.
But she got it. 16. Okay. There it was. Okay.
You started to say it, you went
I
6,
know,
17.
17.
Oh
Okay,
my
this
gosh.
is so funny though. This is so funny though, guys. Jessica, this is citrus. Okay, so we had a big order mix up because I was supposed to get Jessica Citrus Bloom, but I accidentally put in her cart Citrus Bliss. And I had to like call doTERRA because it was it was my bad. And like we like canceled the order. We got the order redone because of Citrus Bloom, because I put in Citrus Bloom.
Here you go.
So I think it's meant to be, Jessica, that you're also supposed to have Citrus Bliss. That is hilarious.
Yay, I've never tried Citrus Bloom.
Oh,
So that would
good.
be great.
Or
Blue on
Bliss, Bloom,
Slack,
whatever.
send
I
me
did
your
something
address.
wrong.
And then the other gal who won, Brittany, will you make sure she DMs me her
Priscilla.
address?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay, you guys, thank you so much.
Great.
Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with us.
See you guys.